Not every man with a beard and a plate carrier is who he say he is. Guys, that line might sting, but unfortunately, it's true. We live in a time when special operations, elite units, and the warrior lifestyles are everywhere in pop culture. From Instagram reels to YouTube shorts, there's no shortage of dudes in camo talking about missions, combat, and selling that warrior mindset. But there's a problem there, right? Unfortunately, a shocking number of these guys are fraud, right? It is what it is. Some of them didn't serve, they didn't deploy, some didn't even pass basic training. Yet, they'll stand in front of you on camera, slap on a plate carrier, grow a beard, and suddenly they're an alpha authority, a figure ready to sell courses, merch on alpha male lifestyle. Guys, this video isn't about gossip. It's not about drama, right? This is about protecting yourself from lies, manipulation, and scams. Because at the end of the day, when you fall for a fake operator, you're not just getting lied to, right? You're losing money, time, and trust. So today we're going to break down the 5 biggest red flags that you should know about in order to protect yourself from fake operators, right? But guys, before we jump into this, let's step back for a second. Why does this even matter, right? Because at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is America has a special place for its warriors, right? It loves its warriors, dating back all the way to the Revolutionary War, Vietnam, World War II, Afghanistan, right? Warriors hold a special place within the American culture, all right? And it's for a good reason. The men and women who truly serve sacrifice everything, right? They put their lives on the line, all right? So that we as Americans could live free. That respect, the respect that comes with that is very, very powerful. And unfortunately, guys, that respect is also very, very profitable because where there's trust, there's always someone looking to exploit it, right? So that's why these guys are doing this. And in the last 10 years, social media has supercharged the fake operator phenomenon. Suddenly, anyone can hop online, throw up a few photos, and brand themselves as elite warriors. It's everywhere. You go on Instagram, TikTok, everybody's doing it. And people buy it. People eat it up. Why? Because most civilians and even veterans don't know the subtle signs that makes an actual operator differ than a fake one, right? So in this video, guys, I'm going to share with you some of these signs so you can protect yourselves. Here are the 5 red flags to spot a fake operator and an alpha scammer. All right, flag number 1 is going to be overcompensation through gear and image. What do you mean by that, Jay? Guys, the first sign is probably the easiest to spot. Gear overload, right? Every photo, every video, every post shows them drenched in tactical gear. Plate carrier, night vision, goggles, night vision goggles, rifles, endless patches, and yet you've probably never seen them in any actual military context, right? That's a red flag because at the end of the day, guys, I can tell you from personal experience, I hated wearing my gear when I was downrange. It's uncomfortable. It's annoying. It gets, if my skin was bulletproof, I would go on every mission with no gear on, right? That's the truth. I hated wearing the goggles, the night vision goggles. They fog at night. They get in the way. They're annoying. The helmet sucks. That's why I always wore my lucky hat. You know, the plate carrier was heavy. It just got in the way of everything, right? So I personally hated wearing it, right? Why these guys wear it now and they don't have to, it's to portray an image, right? That lets you know like, hey, I'm that dude. I'm badass. I'm him. It's no different than the, you know, guy that rolls up in the freaking Benz or in the Rolls Royce or in the fancy Tesla pickup truck, but yet lives in a 1-bedroom apartment and can't even afford to feed themselves, right? Or the guy that wears the Rolex trying to show that he has money. The louder you scream you have money, right, the more the truth is you actually don't have any money. It's the same with operators, right? Red flag number 2, guys, vague, shifting military story. Guys, this is a dead giveaway, right? When you ask a real veteran about their military service, they'll be clear, right? They'll tell you their MOS, their unit, where they were stationed, and maybe based on the relationship you guys have, they'll tell you a couple of stories here and there, right? A couple of war stories. But when they're fake, they'll be real vague with it. Instead of specific details, they'll rely on vague phrases like, I did some stuff overseas, or I was part of the special unit, or hey, I can't talk about it, it's classified. Guys, let me be clear. Yes, some of the missions that I've been on is classified. But the fact that I was a Green Beret, the fact that you're Army Ranger, the fact that you're a Navy SEAL, the fact that you're Delta, that's not classified at all, right? When someone dodges basic questions or constantly changes their story depending on who's asking, you're probably dealing with a fraud, right? And you need to be mindful of that, because at the end of the day, authenticity is consistency. Lies always shift under pressure, and we're seeing that unfold today on social media with some of the stuff that's going on, right? Let's move on to red flag number 3. Then that is the alpha lifestyle sell pitch, right? Guys, almost every fake operator eventually launches into a alpha lifestyle grift, right? It starts small, motivational posts here and there, right? Mindset tips, right? Maybe a few videos on discipline, but quickly it shifts into, paid courses, becoming an alpha male, right? So if you want to be like me, buy this. If you want to do this, buy that, right? $1,000 coaching program for an operating mindset, or for a course on how to become better, $15,000, right? Give or take. Next thing you know, you're buying supplements, you're buying merchandise, you're buying training regiment, all with the promise of making you a warrior. Guys, here's the hard truth. No course in the world, no merchandise in the world, no lectures in the world is gonna make you an elite warrior. Truth of the matter is, the only way you're gonna get that is by finding your recruiter, signing on that dotted line, going through basic training, going through AIT, going through selection, going through that process, getting through the Q course, deploying downrange, slinging lead, dealing with adversity, going through everything that person or that I went through in order to gain the perspective that I have. That's the only way that's going to happen. Anybody telling you that buying all this stuff is going to make you that dude, they're lying to you, and they're looking for a way to take your money. All right. Red flag number 4 is going to be overreaction to criticism. Guys, real vet, they either laugh it off or prove to you who they were by showing you their DD214s, patches, old photos, etc., etc. Because at the end of the day, they don't have anything to hide. But the fake ones, they go nuclear. They get defensive. They attack you personally. They'll say, oh, you're disrespecting the truth. You're disrespecting my service. Vets eating vets. You're doing this. You're doing that. Why? Because the moment you scratch beneath the surface, their whole identity is at risk, right? So the overreaction is almost like you're exposing their insecurity, and they feel like they're backed up in a corner. And now they're going to do everything that they can to defend themselves, right? As opposed to just, hey, man, what do you want to know? Oh, yeah, no problem. Here's my DD214. I served over here. I served. And then you keep it moving, right? Guys, red flag number 5 is going to be exploiting tragedy/brotherhood, right? That is the final red flag, and it's the ugliest red flag there is. Fake operators love to exploit tragedy, right? They'll reference falling comrade. They'll claim to have lost brothers in combat, or they'll hint at PTSD struggles. That's what they do, guys. They don't honor anybody. They just manipulate you by throwing these instances out, throwing these scenarios out there. That's where the scam goes from being laughable to despicable, right? Because at the end of the day, real warriors, guys, I don't exploit the guys that I lost at war for profit, right? I just don't do that. Why? Because it's not something that should be exploited. And the minute you hear somebody doing that, that should be a red flag to you. Like, why is he talking about his fallen comrade? Why is he talking about how he has, PTSD and all that stuff? And how, like, the minute you hear that, right, you got to start thinking, okay, what is this guy trying to sell me? Like, what's going on here? Right? Guys, the more you know about these, the better off you'll be. Because at the end of the day, what I don't want to see happen is for young men, right, to start gravitating towards those guys. And then next thing you know, you think you're getting one thing, but you end up with another. That thing, that other thing that you got will put you in a worse off place, especially once you find out like that individual isn't who they say they are. Right? Now you're emotionally unstable, you're upset, you feel lied to, right? You're unhinged. And as a result, you're gonna go do something that can leave a lasting impression on your life, right? You're gonna go do something that you will regret later on. I much rather that you are keen or you're aware of this information now, right? So you can do the work yourself and go on your journey and learn how to be this person that you envision yourself to be. Right? I'd rather you go do that than to just listen to some dude on the internet and then later on find out that he was full of crap and then you were lied to. And on top of that, you're out of thousands and thousands of dollars, right? That's what makes young, influential individuals within the world we live in now dangerous, right? So guys, I hope you guys got some takeaway from this, right? Keep in mind, guys, the next time you see a self-proclaimed operator online, run through this checklist. I promise you, it's going to help give you perspective. All right. Number one, is he overcompensating? Is he wearing all the gear for no freaking reason? All right. Number two, are the stories vague and is he shifting as if he doesn't know what the heck he's talking about? Number three, is there a sales pitch in there? Right. Number four, is he overreacting to criticism? Right. And then last but not least, is he exploiting tragedy, lost of, brothers or whatever in combat, right? If the answer is yes to at least two or more, you're probably looking at a fraud.